How you do one thing is how you do everything. This is a common phrase, sentence, quote, saying in the military. And earlier today, I realized that is also true. And I've been thinking about this in the last week, but only today I accepted it. The same is true in how we talk to other people. How you talk to one person is how you talk to every person. What I mean by that is, I've had friends and family struggle with schizophrenia, as well as my first real experience with that kind of difficult, complex communication is with Alzheimer's. And then later I got to meet and know more people with schizophrenia, as I myself was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And so I've recovered in large part due to and thanks to Chris Voss, Master Negotiator. Now I'm going to try to summarize this best I can. Chris uses the same skills, in my own words. The way I see it is, Chris uses the same skills with murdering, torturing psychopath terrorists as he does with mom and pop's coffee shop and billion-dollar CEOs, as you do with Alzheimer's and schizophrenics. So it doesn't matter if you have a mom and pop coffee shop or a billion-dollar business. Teaches the same skills with everybody. The same skills he used with murdering, torturing psychopath terrorists. And I see that in the same way as we were told to talk to people with Alzheimer's, and my own experience with schizophrenia. What I mean by that is, the Alzheimer's. If grandma thinks and says that she's a 14-year-old riding horseback, bareback, for 2 days out to the middle of the bush, because that's what she did as a child, as a 14-year-old, and that's the moment she's living in that moment right now, as she's speaking it, you don't try to correct them, because it just creates confusion. Instead, you agree and you go along with the story. The same is true with schizophrenia, and the same is true with murdering, torturing psychopath terrorists. And the same is true with mom and pop's coffee shop and billion-dollar CEOs. In the sense that it's really in the survival brain. Learning to talk to the survival brain. Chris Voss and his team at the Black Swan Group consistently talk about the significance of the work they've done over the last couple of years. Really is, it sounds like they're starting to discover that the skills is really rooted in neurology. Learning to talk to the survival brain. So when, it's impossible for me to know what's going on in your brain, except in part because your brain processes on average day to day is 20 million bits of information per second. That's in sleep or in rest, or in meditation. It might go down to 10 million bits, or hypnosis might go down to 10 million bits. in states of alertness, fear, concern, worry, that could go up to 400 billion bits. 400 billion bits, because your brain, 3/4 of your brain is dedicated to fear of loss, dedicated to worrying about survival. So chances are is your brain is doing everything it can to worry about me. So what I'm doing is, the goal is for me to tell you that you do not trust me. That's what your brain thinks. Your brain thinks that you don't trust me. So for me to build trust requires me confirming what you think, what your brain is processing. Whether you think it or not, your brain is processing fear and concern and worry and self-preservation. So the best way for me to build trust is to do exactly what I was told to do with Grandma. Is repeat what the brain thinks. If your brain thinks that it can't trust me, I gotta tell you that you can't trust me. I don't know what's going on in your brain, but chances are your brain is, 3/4 of your brain is, the best information we have right now is that 3/4 of your brain, the amygdala, is dedicated to fear of loss. So if I say that you can't trust me, chances are is I got a better chance of building rapport. That's true with the schizophrenics. That's true with mom and pop's coffee shop. And that's true with the $1 billion CEO. And as a hostage negotiator, Chris Voss's roots and his team is the same applies to murdering, torturing, psychopath terrorists. They don't trust you. Why would they? Why would a $1 billion CEO trust you? Mom and Pop's coffee shop built their entire life. They've put every nickel and dime they have into building their coffee shop, maintaining their family, doing the best they can. They've poured their heart and soul in Mom and Pop's coffee shop. To have Mom and Pop's coffee shop have little to no reason to trust you. They're looking to preserve their lifetime investment, like the $1 billion CEO. And Alzheimer's and schizophrenics, all they know is what's in their brain. Doesn't matter if it's I don't want to say misguided, because that's their reality. You might be misguided about their reality. That's the truth. The truth is you might be misguided about their reality in schizophrenia or Alzheimer's. So, how you talk to one, how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you talk to one person is how you talk to every person. And that's, I'm going to say, is rooted in a military practice to prepare for the worst case scenario. If you can talk to the worst people in the worst situation, in the worst possible context, if we can learn to talk to grandma's Alzheimer's or John Smith and his schizophrenia, or murdering, torturing psychopath terrorists, chances are is you can use the same skills. If you can use the skills in the worst case scenario, chances are is you can use the same skills in the best case scenario with mom and pop's coffee shop and the $1 billion CEO. How is that crazy? Sound crazy? Is it stupid to try? I dare you to try it. Comment below.